Hey guys, Deva here, and today I'm going to show you the best Xenoblade builds that you can make. Sorry about not streaming this week, but I had COVID, and when I'm sick I give usually myself some time off from anything exhausting so I can recover quickly. I will show you the best possible builds with a maxed out charm and a build without a charm so you guys can take it as a base and use your own available charms. I personally use Xenoblade very rarely on multiplayer because you can't take anyway many guard point openings. But on solo, vanilla SAD is definitely the way to go for me. On multiplayer, monsters tend to attack other players, so you can quickly load files in and surprise them with an Axoper attack. One big disadvantage you lose with Axoper is counter peak performance, which is a very OP skill for Charge Blade. For this build, we're going to use the Tigrex Charge Blade and the Rajang Charge Blade. The Tigrex Charge Blade has a high amount of raw, white sharpness, which is almost 30% extra damage over green sharpness, negative affinity, and it's already one of the top 3 charge blades, but what makes it so good for Xenoblade is its rampage skill, Skillbind boost. It boosts Skillbind attacks by about 10%, in that case Xenoblade, and you get to see some insane melee hit numbers, which means most of your damage is coming from melee hits, therefore also the Tigrex Charge Blade, which can reach a very high FR. However, all this is theory and perfect execution. I did in fact test Rajang with Xenoblade while editing this video and made the conclusion that it's definitely more consistent since there is no sharpness drop, but also it gets higher file damage, while melee is being just a tiny bit weaker. But he also fit in more comfort skills like Rapid Morph without to drop much damage. So I'm going to cover both builds here. The Silkbind boost skill doesn't come directly from the Tigrex Charge Blade, but a few trees backwards at the Ore Charge Blade. That's where you have to ramp up your weapon. And then continue upgrading all the way to Tigrex, it will keep the Skillbind boost ramp up. As usual, meta armor for SAD is Basil pieces, so 3 of them, Burial Mail and Teostra Helmet. Charm is critical I3, weakness exploit 2, 311. Basically a maxed out charm according to the possible tables. I tried getting the affinity to 100% because it's important to get strong melee hits out. Critical I level 7 for 40% affinity. Critical boost 3 will boost your crit damage from 125 to 140%, and we're going to crit on every single hit thanks to weakness exploit 3, which boosts your crit by another 50% on weak spots. Max Might feels the last missing 25% affinity to reach 100%. Artillery is fairly cheap and will boost your file damage by 30%. On the level 1 slots you can put whatever you want. I usually go for Flinchery because without it multiplayer hunts are just a mess of interrupted combos, and speed sharpening to get quickly back to white so we don't lose the 10% extra damage from the white modifier. Guard so I can guard most attacks without knockback and counter afterwards. Guard up so I can block all attacks in the game. Load shells to gain 5 files with only yellow charge. Quick sheath comes with the armor, but it's not a bad skill for such a slow sheathing weapon, so we'll just take it. Decorations used are 1 Tenderizer, 2 crit boost, 2 max might and 1 artillery. And that was pretty much a high EFR build. This highly depends on hitting your melee attacks. If you can't consistently hit every single melee attack with Axoper on the monster's head or on a high hit zone of the monster's body, then it's definitely not worth it in my opinion. So if you don't have this charm, here is a quick build without the charm, but you should try getting at least weakness exploit 2 charm, which is not rare at all. I got like 2 of them on my first day. I could melt Wisp of Mystery. If your endgame, don't waste your materials for anything else. They're shit and have 0% for good charms. You actually have no chance because the good charms aren't in the pool of the first 3, nor on the 5th one. The 5th one has good charms too, but very limited ones. Because I see people keep asking, how do you get those rare charms? And I'm not talking about the god charms. People think weakness exploit 2 and a level 2 slot are rare. They're not rare. Keep melting. Just don't melt on the first 3 because, as I say, they're not in the pool. You'll never get good charms. They're just not in there. Back to the build. All we changed is chest Norgakuga. Headpiece is Teostra again, but if you want, One more crit instead of crit boost, use a Flame Seal helmet. It's obtained if you finish every single village quest, which I'm too lazy to do because it's plain boring for me to fight lowering monsters and gather things. So we miss about 25% affinity and 2 crit boosts with no charm at all. Not a tragic loss, but I'm sure you have any charm lying around with some level 2 slots where you can use 1 extra crit boost or max mat, whatever. And don't forget to hit for Bombardier at the canteen, guys. It boosts your file damage by 15%. Here's a Rajang build, and I mostly recommend using this one for the sake of consistency, and it will do more damage if you don't hit the axe over melee hits on the monster set. Almudron helmet for rapid morph. I know I left the skill out on both SAD and Savage Axe build, but after being reminded again how comfortable it is and speeding up most of your actions, I may redo a top 5 personal charge blade build video because I started using rapid morph on my SAD builds. Renopal's chest, Anjanath Call, and 2 Basilgeuse pieces. I'm not gonna explain every skill again since I did on the previous build, but here in addition we have attack boost 7 for maximized file damage and row damage. Weakness exploit 3 is basically a 12% increase since you only crit only half of the time, and a crit is 125% of the damage. So yeah, it's pretty much the best damage increase you can have here. And Blood General 3 will boost your damage by another 10% when your sharpness is green or lower, aka always, because the Rajang Charge Blade starts with green sharpness. Charm here will be 3 attack and 2 weakness exploit. I won't be showing an extra no charm build here because you can just leave the 3 attack out. 4 attack is the most important because it gives you the 5% boost, and use weakness exploit on the decorations slot instead of 1 rapid morph, for example. And anyways, you're gonna have a charm with a level 2 slot. So yeah, that was it. Hope you guys enjoyed the builds. If so, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you want to see next from me. With that said, I wish you all a nice day and happy hunting, guys. Don't forget to join